David Zax is a great player, and for someone at such a young age, he's just a pleasure to play with because he really listens. He has great ears. I mean, he listens to tons of records, and therefore he can play so much, you know. And I mean, he can solo. You know, he has a great vocabulary on the piano and everything, and so it's just a pleasure to play with him. You know, he's just like really in tune with the people around him, whatever the drummers are doing or the bass player, and so that it all works together. And he's a great pianist. So.
You let go of your ego, you let go, you forget what the audience may be thinking about you, you forget external pressures, and you just concentrate on what's happening on the bandstand. And you feel like you're basically, the state you get into can't be equal anywhere else in everyday life, in my opinion. I mean, that's what I'm going for. The state where you're fully into the music and you're just high off of the music, because you're just so into it and you connect so deeply with the bass player and the drummer, or if there's a horn player on the bandstand. You can't describe it in any other way than a high, and that's constantly what I'm striving to get.
He's an adult, in I guess in the skin of a youngster. Takes things very seriously, and he focuses his attention and efforts on areas that he's interested in, and he doesn't like to waste his time. I guess one of the most serious things for him is to put his energy and focus into something that he considers worthwhile. And probably one of the most hateful things for him is what he considers to be wasting time.
Various emotions. I mean, it's a tool for me to express myself. So when I'm feeling when I'm feeling a lot more mellow, I can play ballad. When I'm feeling energetic, I can play a really up-tempo tune. It really depends. I mean, how you feel is how you play. You don't have one emotion, and sometimes actually the emotions conveyed by music are too specific to be described by words. So sometimes I feel an emotion that I can't really describe. I can only express it through music.
All you need to do is to see David play, and I think it's a window into his relationship to his music. Intensely focused, passionately involved when he plays. It's riveting visually to watch him perform, let alone to hear what he's playing. Again, it's all about the focus, all about the concentration, all about the passion.
I mean, I compose a lot. I try to experiment with various time signatures, forms. I try to abandon all restrictions, and usually I feel in my compositions I can express what I can't really express in my playing. My compositions are a lot more quote-unquote weird than my playing. So I mean, I try to do that a lot, composing. It's really good for my improvisation and just for my musical sense in general.
He's just humble. Like the first time I met him, I was just like, wow, this guy is just so selfless, so caring about others. You know, you meet so many musicians who are just like, it's a selfish business in a sense, because we're constantly practicing and doing things to help ourselves. And David was like the guy who was just all about making great music, and he didn't put himself first. He put the music first, and that's what makes a great musician.
Physically, he practices several hours a day, but it takes most of his productive hours. Everything else that he does basically after music. He strives for perfection only. Perfection is extremely hard to achieve. He is so incredibly emotional after every performance, every concert, every gig.
I want to play in the New York City jazz clubs. I want to tour, play at festivals, perform constantly, record. I hope to make a name for myself, but what I'm concentrated most on is basically satisfying myself more in the future rather than being famous, because that's the aim. I do music because that's what I love to do most. But anyway, I hope to be successful. I hope to be recognized, but I hope to satisfy myself, develop my own voice, and express myself.
Well, It's basically, it's overwhelming. This interest is, his interest in music and his interest and desire to play and perfect his skills seem to be above what I would, what I would expect from a normal or a regular fellow of his age. He doesn't seem to be able to live without it. It's not that he really wants to succeed, although he does. It seems to be that it's his life. It's basically like breathing air. You need to breathe. He needs to express himself.